Hello, Njedeh. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Manny. How you doing today?
I am wonderfully blessed as always, and so are you. And I want to congratulate you on your thriving career at the movies. You've done two different genres, two different films, Exceptional Beings and Creatures of Necessity. So, um, two different genres. I mean, that's hard to do. But let's first talk about Exceptional Beings. It has some supernatural vibe, while Creatures of Necessity is grounded in revenge thrillers. So let's talk about Exceptional Beings. Where did the idea come from of gods and men and those in between? I mean, you wrote it.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's a prequel to Godhood, and that's the first book that was one of the books I wrote. But actually, it was just playing with the idea of modern gods. I mean, ancient Greek gods in modern times, and just the idea of merging mythology, religion, and just the idea of getting everybody, just basically getting our different beliefs together, and seeing what happens when gods have existential crisis with each other when they get to figure out something they do not know.
And at the end of it, though, it's all about love, isn't it? At the
It's
heart of it.
always that's the key to everything. And if you can notice with time, with history, even from the beginning of time, whenever people talk about mythologies, there's this human context where they're always clashing and all of that stuff, but it still comes down to that human, what we seek in humanity, which is love.
No, and Jide, tell us quickly, how did you get interested in making films?
It was an accident, actually, to be honest. It's so basically people don't read as much as they used to, and it's much easier to just have an hour and a half to basically just use an hour and a half to basically just get an entire book essentially. So that way it's easier to portray the message. So that's why I jumped into it, because it was an easier medium to actually share what we were planning on doing.
You know what, Anjere, and so Exceptional Beings is now available for rent as well in all the digital platforms.
Yes, it is.
Creatures of Necessity, I was struck by it. It was actually well made and well written. Talk to us about it. It's a thriller with revenge at its heart and a standout performance from Mindy Gilkerson. Talk to us about it. Where did that idea come from?
Oh, so that on its own, that was just basically there was actually the whole concept of, basically you kidnap. And during that period, I was watching Fleabag. So basically that injected into the writing over there. So I was just thinking about the concept of, you're going through a kidnapping that is so serious, but just at the same time, the person gets the ability to break the fourth wall and basically pull the audience into the story, essentially thinking what they're thinking. And that played a part with the serious context of the movie as well as the comedy that played into it.
So, on Creatures of Necessity, you wrote and produced it, but on Exceptional Beings, you wrote, produced, and co directed it as well, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, a lot of hats, independent movies.
Which aspect of filmmaking do you value the most? Writing, directing, or producing?
Oh, it has to be writing. Definitely writing. Just the idea of the creation of it, just the idea of creating things and creating the worlds. That's actually the foundation of everything for me. And then everything else plays a part in it.
I totally agree with you. I've always told everyone that everything begins with a written word. I mean,
Exactly.
anything that you love, right? From Harry Potter to Twilight, from Gone with the Wind. I mean, it's all about the written word. So I totally agree with you. Now, speaking of writing, you've written books yourself. Any chance of adapting any one of your novels in the future, Njede?
Yes. So basically, the next project, it's either between Into the Black, which is a screenplay that's different, or Mind Crawlers, which is a book that's already out there. So it's a debate between the two of them. So it's one, if not maybe the two at the same time. So yes, that's the next adaptation.
Tell our viewers if they want to purchase or read one of your books, how do they get them?
Oh, it's on Amazon. Just go to Amazon, type in Njedeh Anthony, and the books just pile down. You
All
know.
right. So you've written novels, you've written movies. Which do you prefer?
I would have to say movies, because, and the reason why, it's like it takes a tribe to make a movie. You have actors that basically you could have your lines, but in between the lines, they put something in between those lines and they bring it to life. You have, the gaffer that makes the magic with the lights. You have cinematographer. You have the DP. You have this excellent the grip. I mean, you just have this combination of people that want to make magic. So that's when, yes, that's the direction I love now.
Oh, you know what, Njedeh, I feel your passion, right? And then one of the things that I love about you, just like me, you're an immigrant. You moved from Nigeria, you were born in Nigeria, moved to America, and found your way here in America, found your passion, your soul. So when you create books and movies, how does your immigrant experience influence your creativity?
Oh, and it's a big part of it because you see the world, and that's it. I want to look at it almost like multicultural power in it. Like in Nigeria, we have like over 250 cultures, and even within that country, there is so many cultures and so many variations in there, different perspectives, different ways in which people think. Then you go outside the country and you come to the United States, and you see a different perspective in the way people see things, and that also works with. It comes to play with religion, with politics, with life, with the concept of your general existence. So just the idea that you can see things in a different perspective in which somebody sees it. It's always a miracle, and that's where the beauty of writing is, because you can capture basically the perspective of just going out and looking into the sun could be different from the way somebody else sees it, and as a writer you might be able to capture it and share it.
Now, taken from that prism of the immigrant experience, tell us how that pertains to your exceptional beings, a film about gods and humans.
It plays a big part because in the concept of gods, gods on what the gods did essentially in the book. First of all, the gods on their own are just almost like recycled. They're all recycled, almost like you have. And I got a lot of flack over this because some people were just basically like, "Why is Athena black?" And the concept was just basically it's almost like a recycle because Athena comes from Neith, which is an Egyptian goddess, and the Romans had their own version of Athena. It's just different perspectives, and present day, the present day Athena for history records could be Madonna, and it just keeps changing with time, and with every generation, everybody creates a new perspective of something. So in terms of the immigrant status coming down, you get to see that different perspectives. You get to see certain connections that were not made in there, and just create magic with it.
But then you went totally 360 on us and did this revenge thriller for Creatures of Necessity. How does your immigrant experience mirror that or inspire that?
Oh, see the immigrants. I mean, there was an immigrant in Creatures of Necessity, the
That's
prince.
true.
Yeah, but so with that one, it was almost. It's just again, it's to be honest, the devils are the same in different. No matter the country is, the things. It's almost like the language, the initial language people learn is we learn anger, we learn. Some things don't even require words. They're languages that we learn: revenge, anger, love, God. All of these perspectives, they have that different variation. So, it's just basically you can put them into different genres, different places, different pigeonholes, and they all fit.
Now, is it in your pipeline to make a story, make a movie about your experience in Nigeria?
No.
No, you don't want to do a movie about that.
No, I want to do a movie about Nigeria, but not I don't feel my story is that interesting.
Okay.
I try to think that way. I'm not that interesting in that sense, but there are lots of. I mean, Nigeria is like it's a gold mine of fertility. There's so much creativity, so much stories to be written there, and that I mean, even the old Nigeria, which is probably I was blessed to have it, where basically you have people in isolated rural areas, and I grew up there, and there's so many stories I remember from lots of people that are all dead right now. And when they start telling you those stories, they've all disappeared. So yes, I have some of those stories that I would love to blend in the future.
Oh, now when folks see the two movies that you've created, right? Exceptional Beings and Creatures of Necessity, what do you hope for viewers to get after watching those films?
Now, the beauty of it, I mean, well, what we were hoping was we wanted originality. We wanted to create something that isn't out there, isn't what everybody's looking at right now. We wanted to create a different kind of movie. We wanted to create something. So if you're looking for an experience that is new, that is fresh, and it's basically a storyline that you can't predict what's going to happen, I would, I would love the viewers to go on that journey and enjoy it with us.
You know, when you mentioned earlier that when you create a film, you love that team aspect of it. Like everyone
Yeah,
is part of the team.
yeah.
What is the most challenging aspect of creating a film, though?
The most challenging aspects is I mean, first it's like basically everybody has their gift. So I think the challenging part is you have to kind of figuring out everybody's gift. How best does it work? What does this actor like to do or not like to do? What does this what you want to give room for the AD, the gaffer, everybody to actually play a part in it. So it's challenging. What I found a little challenging is just getting the right balance where everybody can be a part of the process and basically be recognize that this is their work and not just one person's work. It's everybody that is creating this piece of art that we hope to be all be proud of.
You know what, Njedeh, I just want to thank you for reaching out to me about your two movies, because really at the end of it, the reason why I'm doing this is because I love up and coming filmmakers. I love seeing the passion, and I see the passion in you, Mr. Njedeh.
Thank you so much, Manny.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
you're so welcome. So what's next for Njedeh? Tell us.
I'm working on two movies that are going to be Into the Black and Mind Crawlers, and promoting exceptional beings everywhere, anywhere. And it's available in Amazon. It's available in iTunes, Vudu, nearly all the streaming platforms.
Oh, well, good luck on all of that. So once again, both exceptional beings, a fantastic supernatural gods and humans story, and creatures of necessity, a totally different one, a revenge thriller with a strong female performer in the middle. They're both are out now for rent in all the digital platforms, Amazon Prime Video. What else? Voodoo,
Vudu, Vudu, YouTube,
iTunes. Yep.
iTunes, Spectrum, Sling TV.
Yeah.
It's all
Oh.
there.
Well, good luck on everything, and Njedeh. Okay, and please let me know of your future endeavors. Okay, and we'll talk more about
Thank
them.
you so, thank you so much, Manny. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
you are so welcome. Talk to you
All right.
soon.